Well, good afternoon, Alistair. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. Good afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon. Wonderful. We're here to chat about businesses and in the health and well-being space, specifically how businesses can work, how they can run, and what we can do to aid and support them and to enhance their growth, specifically looking at sort of business leaders, the people in charge, the people wanting to make the business go, whether they're a sole trader or a new startup, or they're starting to grow their team. So we want to have a look at that and have a discussion about how we can find ways to enhance their business and to grow their reach. What are some challenges for new or aspiring business leaders, specifically in the health and well-being space, but I suppose more generally as well?
Yeah, so when we were looking at the business that we wanted to form,
Hmm.
we focused on the sort of issues that you have within small to medium-sized businesses. And this
Yeah.
can be anything from sort of 5 people up to 200. So small to medium. And one of the things that we focused on is how you bring people up and develop people to give them more responsibility, and where are the learning gaps that we can try and fill. And so the basis of our program is that we cover the same sorts of subjects that you would see within an MBA, but
Okay.
we do it in a very practical nature, focused on SME type businesses and the problems that they might find. Gives an individual the chance to develop their skills, and it works really well when they can share that growth with somebody else in their team. We tended to call them the sponsor rather than the manager or the owner of the company, or your mentor, whatever it is, because this person is sponsoring that individual to have more knowledge, to be better at leading small businesses.
Yeah.
And so by creating this framework where each month you have a different subject, that you can learn something about that subject from an expert who has worked within small to medium-sized businesses before, and then share it and look at your own business and how you would like to change things within that environment. So we've been as a business running for over 12 months now. We have
Hmm.
a reasonable number of people on program, and we might come on to what that looks like later. But the main thing is that we're seeing growth because you are trying to work in an environment where people feel very stressed. If you're running a small business,
Yes.
if you're a sole owner, or you've got 3 or 4 members of staff and you're trying to grow the business, actually just running the business takes all your time. So this
Absolutely.
also gives people an opportunity to develop some skills that will help them to grow the business over time. We work on the
Hmm.
theory, top line, that you don't develop leadership by going on a 3-day course. You develop leadership by learning something new and practicing it in bite-sized lumps, and then really
Hmm.
thinking about how it affects, or what you can do within your own business about that. And that's what our program does really well.
Absolutely, because stepping up and being a business leader isn't just about having some specific skills. It's about being a leader. You don't talk about you don't you kind of
Yeah.
do leadership, but you are a leader. You are the
Yeah.
person. You're the person that people follow. So it's almost a personality you're growing. It's an aspect of yourself that you're enhancing to be able to be the person that people want to follow, and to
Yes.
have and to know the sorts of things to watch out for and the sorts of directions that you want to take a business in.
Precisely.
Uh, with the challenges of being a new leader, what are the sorts of steps and what are the gaps that you're specifically trying to fill with your program at mySMEleader?
Well, I suppose we have a number of modules that we present on a monthly basis.
Okay.
It's the order is pretty much in stone. So you join a cohort, which has its own advantages. Part of what the learning process is to hear how other people are doing it in their business, to hear different
Right.
perspectives. But if you take an example from your world, you
Hmm.
might be a single practitioner that wants to expand their business. Because let's face it, if you're a single practitioner, when you go on holiday, your business stops.
Yes.
There's no two ways about it. It just stops. And so if you have ambitions to start hiring people and managing people is a minefield. And I'm not saying that going on our course will solve it, but it will give you some perspective and give you a cohort of other people who might have been through it before.
Yes.
Dealing with the intricacies of the legal parts of running a company, the accountancy
course.
parts of running a company, the impact even on a single well-being practitioner of AI and how AI can help in your marketing, how AI can help with your website. You don't have to, he says, broad statement here, you don't have to hire a web designer anymore.
Mm.
You can pretty much do it yourself with very little money using the tools that are readily available. And that goes for how you interact with the people that are coming along to you, how you automate emails, how you do all these sorts of bits and pieces. Again, the program doesn't get into that granular detail, but it gives you an idea of what is possible and what you should be going out to the internet to look at before you start spending money.
Right.
I would say with looking at your membership, you're looking at a number of things. Either a single practitioner who wants to expand, maybe they have a space where they have other people coming in to work on a freelance basis. But these people are quasi-employees. It gets big quite quickly. Or if you're in charge of say a 2 or 3 man practice and you're looking to expand that, you're looking to get a different location maybe, and therefore man up that location. Those are the sorts of things that really you need some support to be able to do.
Mm.
Going back to what I said earlier, this will not solve all your problems, but it will give you an idea of how to go about things.
Yeah, that's sort of what I found going along for the taster sessions that I've had to sort of experience, be able to give my own perspective, that it's useful having distilled knowledge from a specific experienced person who's been around the block a few more times than I have, further down the road,
Yeah.
has actually led businesses and can say, okay, in this field, in this new area of AI or of putting in place and using new tools, whether it's technology or physical practical skills or using your space, whatever it is, they've got some experience in saying, okay, this is how you implement it in this context, that's how you implement it in that context. These are some pitfalls to watch out for, and this is the way to approach it and think about it. Having that distilled knowledge there and sort of, let's focus on this topic, here it is,
Yeah.
and then going away and spending the months mulling it over, thinking about it, seeing how it can apply in my context, and then comparing and contrasting that with the different contexts of all the other people, the peers in the cohort. That's really valuable because you get distilled experience from one person in the field and then applications in several different fields at the same time. So you get a really well-rounded view of that particular topic.
Yeah, I mean, running a business is tough. Being
Yeah.
a leader of people is tough, and it's good to have an extended network of people that you can get ideas from. And as you say, we have each month we have a subject matter expert who comes in and talks. It's a 1.5 hour WebEx, normally early on in the month, and then the second session is a collaborative session where you discuss the topic and how you are looking at it within your own business. And so during that session, you hear how other people are interpreting what the subject matter expert has said.
Yes.
And you get to distill that knowledge, and then it lurks in the back of your mind. You might not be changing your website or doing your marketing or looking at the sort of legal aspects of having another space that you're signing for, but the knowledge is lurking in the back of your mind. And we also, on our learning environment, you can watch the first session, i.e. the subject matter expert session, again. So if you've missed it, you can go back and make notes.
That's really useful. Yeah.
It's a very, very powerful tool to grow. And, what we hope is that over, the next year or so, that community of people that you meet on the program will actually grow, and it will be a useful network for somebody who's running their own business, which can be lonely as well as difficult,
It can.
to be able to refer to.
Got you. Okay. So how could the Foyt members or other people get in contact with you and try out the program?
Okay, we have a page on the Foyt website, mySMEleader. So if you search for that, you'll find us. And also the events, i.e. the first subject matter expert session, is on your events page. What people want to do, because what we're doing with Foyt is that the first month is a trial, so there's no charge for the first month. And then
Free
afterwards,
taster. Very good.
we understand that the program works. For the people that we got on program, that it really works, but it has to be right for the individual. It has to be at the right level, because some people have done management at university or whatever it is. So you need to make sure that the training is the right level. So we let someone along to the first month without any charge. Following that, it's a subscription where you pay each month. As long as you pay each month, you can come along to the next month. And what we're doing for Foyt members, there is a 20% discount on the normal subscription, which is a forever discount, as long as they stay a member of Foyt, obviously.
Right.
And the normal price is $295, and then with the 20% discount, he says, desperately racking to see if he can do it his head and failing miserably, it will be around or just under £250 a month. That is the way that you go about it. If you click on the link in the Foyt website, all you need to do, I think, is just your email address and your name, and then we will invite you along to an induction, which is just making sure that the online environment works with you and that you understand what the program's about, and then you get an invite to the 1 month trial session from there. So click on the link. Fill your email address and name in, and the rest we'll do and follow up.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, I've enjoyed my taste myself, and I hope to find out how the people here in Foyt enjoy it and the benefits that they get as they experience it for themselves.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, Andrew, and I hope to meet some more of your members as the months progress. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alistair. Take care. Bye now.